Wonder where it went. But yeah, let's get it going. I want to do it all from memory. Let's turn this volume down. Let's get everything set up. How's everybody doing today? Kind of lost my voice a little bit. Went to the doctors, got some tests done. I had to get injected with some radiation, whatever stuff. See how my guts are doing. Let's see here. All right, let's see how that worked out. All right, I have no clue what the name of this fly is or the streamer. It's articulated, and I think I just lost the only pattern I had to go off of. So I'm going to do it all by memory. I hope so. My memory's not all that good anymore. Yeah, I don't know where it went. It just straight up disappeared. Crazy. Hey, what's Terry? What's up, Terry? How you doing? I'm celebrating Friday. Got me a little beer. Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome tie. I just wish I didn't lose the pattern. But I guess let's get to it. And we'll see what happens. I kind of remember some of it, so we will see, right? We will see. All right, so first we're gonna start off with an 8, size 8, 1x long, right? Oh, I found the pattern. It was right in front of me. Yo, if you're a fly tyer, you understand. Yeah, it is finally Friday. Amen, Terry. Here soon, you and I are going to be out with our ladies fly fishing. Norfolk. It's going to get wild. It's going to get wild. My dad will be out there too. My dad has got a camping spot out there too. It's going to be cool. But yeah, this is what my dad Hoot. I'm Rooster. Everybody thinks I'm Hoot. I am not Hoot. That's my dad. I'm Rooster. And the nickname behind Hoot is because of Hoot Gibson. Was a spaghetti western back in the day when I guess when there was real like Nickelodeons where you put a nickel in a thing, you know? Yeah, it is totally gonna be freaking awesome, Terry. What's up, Oliver? How you doing? Do I know Thomas the Tank Engine? That'd be cool, man. He'd be happy to meet you too, you know? But yeah, we'll straight up have a good time. It's gonna be a great time. But yeah, so this is like a sculpting pattern, something Hoot wanted and stuff like that. And I kind of figure, while I tie this, you get to know your tire a little bit. The guy that does the Show Me Fly in Missouri, he's gonna do a blog thing about my past and stuff. Because I've been through, I guess my past is interesting because I've been through a lot of stuff, and I don't know. It just seemed like it was just everyday life to me. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Frankie? Eric Clapton Guitar Crossroad Festival. What town, bro? Tell me, Frankie, what town? Because, man, dude, yeah, I'll straight up be honest with everybody. I'm a severe head trauma survivor. Well, while I talk about this, I'll tie this fly. So we're going to start with the tail. I have never seen a fly like this before. I didn't even have time to research the name or anything. It's interesting. So we're going to start with the tail. And I feel like the tail. Yep. There we go. It is a size 8, 1x long. So this is a U101. So it's an Umpqua. There we go. And the tail is what's pretty interesting too. I like how it's got this right here. So it's either you take a tuft of something and put it down, or you wrap it around there. So we're gonna find out because then it's wrapped all the way around, but it also has some dubbing. So let's play. I'm not gonna do that exact same color, but I am gonna check this out. Okay. Because I'm wondering, I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't get the thread going. Yeah, I know Thomas the Tank Engine, Oliver. I think anybody my age should know who that is. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about now. Yeah, I've been getting some tests done at the hospital and everything. I don't know what's going on. I've been having some gut problems, which is probably due to my previous lifestyle. I'm party pretty hard. I mean, shoot, what else do you do in South Dakota? You know, it snows, man. There ain't nothing else to do but party. We're getting wild and stuff like that. So I suggest people chill out on the party and you'll pay for it. My voice is gone. And because, I don't know. I don't know, however you lose a voice. That's how I did it. But yeah. Basically, I started fly fishing, man, in and out. Well, here, we'll start it this way. We're going to start like right here. We're going to work our way back. I feel like it's safe to throw a thread base down, you know? But my memory is really messed up. December in December of 2012, December 12, 2012. So it was 12 all the way around, and it was kind of crazy. I believe in God and everything. I'm faithful. I'm not real big on religion, but I'm big on faith. Um, and we're not gonna bring that really up and stuff like that. But I was hit by an SUV going 65 miles an hour when I was walking across the street, and it basically shattered my lower half of my body. So, what's up, Julia? How you doing? I just seen that. So it kind of messed me up pretty good and everything. You know, I was in the hospital for a long time. Shoot, even in a wheelchair for longer. You know, I wonder if I just wrap this. We'll see. We're gonna do this. Dad sent me to figure this pattern out. I'm gonna figure it out. Here we go. I'm gonna cut it right there, though. So this is kind of like a rough draft. But yeah, and I like being in a wheelchair and everything. It wasn't pretty fun at all. Being in a wheelchair sucks. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So you do have to peel it off and kind of, it's just gonna suck. But you just grab yourself a pinch like that. You can reserve it like this. Bam. Ta-da. But back to the story for I digress too much. I like that word. Yeah, it was pretty rough being in a wheelchair. I think it's like the worst time of my life. And I get hit by a car laying on the asphalt and getting hypothermia and stuff. And it found me my body temp was like 86 degrees. And that's when your body starts shutting down. Um, my injuries was severe head trauma. Um, severe head trauma, you know, crushed my pelvis. My hip bones were basically looked like somebody took a baseball bat to what do you call it, like a piece of glass or something, you know. I don't have much memory of laying out on that asphalt either. Not much at all. Stuff like that. I don't know if I was knocked out or awake, but I do know that I was knocked so far back that I actually came to in the hospital. I was in and out, you know, they had me doped up on a lot of pain medication and stuff like that. You know, and this is all after my wild. Well, it's kind of not after, but it's the end of one wild past and the beginning of another. You know, stuff like that. It's when I really started battling the world and trying to figure out everything because I started to care. Let's double check this. Yeah, I think he wraps it around there, bro. How he does that. I need a little bit more. I think I'm probably going about this the long way. There's probably some trick that I don't know, but it's all right because I got plenty of feathers. And pull that down. What I'm just basically doing is getting me a good old chunk, just stripping it, pulling it. I know this could be a bad idea because I've been tying a lot of woolly buggers for a guide. But yeah, so back to the story. Let's see. So it's a little bit past. Um, Hospital. I get out, stuck in a wheelchair. And like I said, that's the worst ever. The worst ever. There we go. All right. That's when I started getting into the blues too, because I was so damn depressed all the time. You know, it really sucks watching people have fun. It really sucks. But I sure did build up my upper body pretty damn quick. Stuff like that. There's this one girl I remember. She took me out on a date because the day I got hit by a car, or that night I got hit by a car, the next morning I was gonna go on a date with this girl that I've had a crush on for a minute. I finally had, got the gumption to be like, hey, how you doing? Stuff like that. So we got that done, and now I'm looking at this tail, and it's got some hackle wrapped around it. So what I'm gonna do is take one of these scraps I demolished. Kind of feel bad about doing it to two of them, but take a measurement about like that. All right. Now this looks like it was tied in the back. I don't like doing that. I really, really don't. So we're gonna prep this and put this aside, right? Because I'm gonna run some wire. I'm gonna run some gold, light gold, Simplify. But yeah, and stuff. She was awesome. She took me out on a date. I paid for Red Lobster and everything. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Um, then I remember one day I went to the hospital and they said, "Oh, you don't need your wheelchair anymore." So I was like, "Thank God." Got rid of the wheelchair, but then another problem arose. I was scared as hell to cross the street because the street I lived by was the street that got hit by the car or truck. It was a drunk driver too. ran stoplight, blasted me. And so now we're gonna need some dubbing. Oh, this was extra small wire, and it's shiny dubbing, I've noticed. So we're gonna use some ice dub. I'm gonna just do the dubbing noodle thing, stuff like that. Um, I'm trying to remember where I was at. Car. Oh, the date. Yeah, I had a date and stuff like that. But I learned to walk. Now I was afraid to cross the street. I couldn't drive a car. And stuff like that. I do remember one time, man, the world got to me real good. And they had me on prescription pain pills and stuff like that. And I grabbed a handful of them things and I swallowed them. A handful. This was before that date, too. And then I woke up an hour later. I can't remember what pain pill, some like crazy stuff. Cause I was so depressed, man, being in a wheelchair. And I woke up and went on the date like nothing happened and everything. So God saved me there again. And then, learned to walk. Finally got the guts to cross the street because my dad had this nice Harley Davidson. Right? And he was driving. And I could get, like, I smoked cigarettes at the time, so I could get to a gas station. Or it wasn't a gas station. I could get to a Walgreens without crossing the street. But still, you know. And I see my dad drive by, and the next thing I know, this trailer comes by with some stuff, and it hit something, and a whole bunch of brush fell down on the road. And I think in scenarios, I think that's why I'm pretty good at fly fishing. I think in scenarios and stuff like that, and all I could see in my head was my dad hitting that and just biffing it on his nice big old Harley, and both of them getting torn up. So I walked back and forth staring at that damn thing for probably a good 10, 20 minutes before I worked up the gumption to go run out in the middle of the road. And this was a 2-lane road. It was Weddington and Fayetteville, Arkansas. It was a 2-lane road, and it was in a city, and, it was pretty busy. And I run out there and grab that thing, and my ribs hurt. And then I ran back, and stuff like that, and I got home. And I think it's the first time I remember that my dad ever said he was proud of me and stuff like that for getting that out of the road, because I guess he would have hit it, and it really would have caused a disaster. No. And then while I was, learning to walk and stuff like that, we walk around listening to blues and stuff, and I started getting to drinking. And I would write poetry, drunk and angry at the world because I was single. And I still believed that um, I deserve a girlfriend, this and that, mad at the world because I'm crippled. Can't do what I love doing, and it's new construction plumbing. Oh man, dude, I love digging. Whether with a shovel or an excavator, doesn't matter, man. I love digging. Yeah, that's way too big for that. So we're gonna have to find a new hackle. All right. Yeah, my ribs are messing with me. Mm. But yeah, I was always mad. And then met this one girl. She was a tattoo artist. Yeah, big mistake, right? But she was amazing. Her art, I love artwork. I really do. And stuff like that. Oh wait, the blues. Yeah, I started writing poetry about pain and suffering and stuff like that, and would read it at a coffee shop that was close by too. People would be clapping and stuff. A lot about broken hearts because I get a girlfriend and then come to find out they didn't really like me or it was for the money or whatever. So I was always working. Even after the accident, I was still doing construction. I was still going. It's all I knew. It's all I ever knew. was pain and construction and just the longing for like a woman and a great relationship to build a life. I didn't care, how I got it done as long as I got it done. But yeah, a lot of relationships till the one I'm in right now. This is the longest relationship I've ever been in. It was with Devin. Amazing girl. You know you're with the right woman, and all of a sudden you just change your attitude. You ain't even take her out on a date yet. You just all of a sudden your attitude just changes instantly. Like you start actually giving a damn. You know. Here we go. I'm prepping this one. Stuff like that. I've been getting this flashback recently about me helping out when I lived in South Dakota. The thing about me is I always put everybody else first, even when I was young and wild and dumb. I always would put everybody else at first. It's just not a good trait to have. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna have to get one of these things right here. There you go. I'll fix that. Ouch. But yeah. Did help out at the Special Olympics, but I mean, it wasn't out of like a good heart thing. I got out of school. But the person I trained won a gold medal, so I feel pretty good about that. Uh, yeah, I don't like these things anymore. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna get my other one. Now my nose itches. There we go. And I'll catch it with the ribbon. It's like the smallest woolly bug I ever made. But yeah, a lot of broken heart. You know, I'm still screwing up. Still screwing up. All I really knew how to do was screw up or ruin really good relationships or just be with the wrong woman, and stuff like that. Tale is almost done. I was a pretty selfish person. I believed in God my whole life, but man, when I was younger and wild, my prayers were, how come I ain't got a girlfriend? Or where's my next bag at? Yada yada and stuff like that. I love smoking pot back then. Now it's recreational in Missouri, and I got it for medical for my pain, which I do treat it like medicine and stuff like that. But here we go with that. See now, I don't know, man. I guess it's probably because it's been used so much. I'm gonna brush it out too after I whip finish it. But yeah, where's my whip finisher? Whoa, stuff like that. Um, Fly fishing really didn't take a hold until I got out done. Well, I've been on probation from the age of like 14, 15, all the way to like 36 or something like that. Like repeat offending stuff. Nothing real big, no murders or nothing like that. Just fighting and gang related stuff. And, so I thought that was the only way to survive. You know, which is stupid to think that. And then I got locked up. A girl broke my heart. I'm gonna use some bone dry. Girl broke my heart, and so I went and got some beer and slammed a bunch in the parking lot. And on the way home, I had my music up real loud, and the cop pulled me over. So I parked my car in my driveway. Still got a DWI. Bailed out before my probation officer at the time even knew it. That's how you gotta do it. If you're on probation, you get locked up. You need to bail out before they even know it. And oh, where's my light? There it is. Get these lights for really good price, dude. This was like a $30 light or a $29 light at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight commercial just came on. But yeah. So and then I got into drug court after, like, I got out of jail 2 months later, or 3 days later, I got a new girlfriend. She cheated on me, so I got hammered drunk again and got another DWI. So they put me in drug court. It was either drug court or spend the rest of my sentence in jail or prison or whatever and stuff like that. Um, so I chose drug court. Went through drug court. Only had one relapse, but I did that intentionally because everybody else was like, "Oh, I relapsed. They didn't really get no real punishment." So then when I did it, I got a bad punishment, man. Yeah, I think they knew what I was up to. People ain't stupid. Only stupid people are stupid. You know? So now we gotta attach that to a 6 1X long U101. Stuff like that. Now how they got it attached is with some braided fishing line. I'm not really big on that because I preach durability and everything. What's up, Kim B? How you doing, man? Here we go. Maybe I should have used 2 hackles. Yeah, we'll try. This is just a rough draft. Yeah, I should have done 2 hackles at once. I think I know how they did it. They took it all the way down and then came back up with it. That's how they got that tail. I bet you anything. I'm gonna cut that thing apart. But yeah, so we're going with the black again. I'm gonna lay down some. I think we should put on the eyes first. And so this ride's hook point down for some weird reason. So I'm gonna tie the rough draft hook point down. I got these eyes. If you're ever near Bennett Spring and stuff like that, every Wednesday morning, they got a fly tying thing going on. There we go. All right. So a little tip and trick. Where you want your eyes, you want to create a little bump behind it. So the stuff don't slide. Don't slip and no slide. Bam. And you just do figure eights. One guy, he just does cross wraps like this. But you don't want to do the loop under it. All right. Now this is real important. You want to make sure everything's chill, That's good. How's the weather out there, man? We're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to throw a thread base. And then we're going to go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to drop some of that super duper glue. See a woman crying. It's a good blues song. All right. So now I'm looking at the pattern. I need some beads and some wire. So I got the wire. I just use this Beadalon 0.46 millimeter, and this is some strong. It's stainless steel wire. I don't play around, you know. But yeah, I graduate drug court, and by then I was already studying the Bible. I did jail time. Every time I did jail time, I would walk in a square because that's all we could do, and I just read the Bible, hold prayer group and stuff like that. And then I get out of jail and I'd be like, ah, da, da, everything's okay, and it really wasn't, you know, because I just forgot about God. You know, that wasn't cool. There we go. All right. So I took a couple times in jail, and when I finally got it, I was in jail. I was thinking about hanging myself because I was sick and tired of all the stupid decisions that I kept repeating all the time. And this guy, Joe Jester, the only reason why I remember his name is because his last name Jester. Joe Jester, I guess he was like a professional baseball player or something. He'd go in with this guy and he'd, talk about the Bible and stuff like that. And he just sat next to me and he asked me what's wrong. And I told him straight up, man, dude, I'm so sick and tired of in and out of jail stuff, man. I'm ready just to hang myself. And so he said, just hang on. He got me a Bible. And, told me what to read and stuff like that. And I gotta grab some beads real quick. So I read what he told me to read. And then I started getting interested in the Bible. I was doing 30 days. And so I'd be walking in the square reading the Bible. And I read the book of James because, why not? So I read the book of James and everything. And I was like, wow, this is how people are supposed to act and treat each other. So I started doing that. And then I get done with this thing had 2 beads on. I'm going to put 2 beads on. But these beads right here are bigger than a heck of a lot bigger than what I got. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe put 3 beads. Yeah, we'll put 3 beads. And so I started really getting the Bible and stuff. And they started having me run the prayer group. This one guy, he was a drug cartel. He had me pray for his family and everything and stuff like this. Is all in Arkansas. And, I get out and that was the last time I ever been to jail. Stuff like that. I've been off probation for 5 years, but I've been on it for so long. I can't function without someone telling me what to do. So we're gonna put that on, and then we're gonna run it through all these beads. And this is a pain in the butt part, so I suggest doing one at a time. This is a pain in the butt. But yeah. And then, found some more girls, more broken hearts, but I got smart about drinking. I would just stay home. I lived in walking distance to a brewery. I was like, yeah. And I lived walking distance to Dixon Street, too. If anybody knows anything about Dixon Street, they know, oh boy. There we go with that. Pinch it. Cord up my thread so I got a better bite. There we go. I'm twisting that, straightening it out. There it goes. Because all you really need is that loop to be on top of each other, and then they'll swim perfect. There we go. There we go. Bam. Touching wraps. And get these out. Bam. Got the dikes. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's throw some glue on them eyes. Stuff like that. And then I really started studying God and stuff like that. But I was still so ignorant. I still had so much to learn. And more broken hearts. But these ladies were better. I think I was the one that screwed up. I didn't cheat or anything. I got PTSD, I guess. And at the time, I didn't know. So I get angry easy and yell and stuff like that. And it's just ignorant. So I just really started getting the fly fishing in the Bible then. I worked at a kolache, which is like a German breakfast joint and stuff like that. And then this guy, he goes, "Why don't you just sell?" Oh, ow. Look at that, right in the finger. He goes, "Why don't you sell your flies?" And I was like, I never thought about doing that. So I started selling my flies. So I was killing it at Tailwaters Beaver Dam. Just killing it. All right, let's look at this now. So what's first? All right. So we're gonna need the biggest part, and I am just gonna spin it. Bam. Stuff like that. So business was okay. I mean, everybody doubted me. I was used to being like, when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be a fly fisherman, or a fisherman, or a fishing guide, anything to do with fishing. I didn't want to be no doctor. I wasn't really. I didn't care about being rich. I never have. And if I ever became rich, I'd give all my money away anyways. You know, I just never really cared for being rich. There we go. Now it's acting right. I'm just wrapping it over on top of each other. There we go. Come in. And my dad, he taught me how to tie my first fly Hoot. And the reason why I got a fly tying in the first place was the guy took advantage of at a fly shop. Bought a whole bunch of junk that never worked. And like I said, I had anger problems. So I got so mad, I turned it into passion. Turned that anger into something good. And I started tying flies. So I was like, man, I'm gonna run a business where when people come to me like, hey, what's working? I straight up be like, this is how you do it. And they go out and catch fish, and they're like, oh, dang. There we go. Trying to get all this stuff to bend backwards a little bit. There it goes. There we go. kind of make it look like one, you know. Pull that. I glued my fingers to the eyeballs. Forgot to put glue on that. There we go. Oh, what's up, everybody? Hot and humid? Dang, bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, man. So, okay, so now. Alright. So we got some dubbing that goes all the way dang near to the eyes. Yeah, I should have picked a shorter shank. Look. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I picked too big of hooks. That could be it. But yeah. Let's see here now. So we need the dubbing. We're gonna get this. And you can order flies online. I do custom flies. You just send me a picture or give me the name and tell me how you want it. And we'll communicate a little bit and make sure I understand. And boom, I can tie a fly just by looking at it. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I should add the wire. Nah, we're going to do it the other way. Yeah, I don't need none. Alright, so it also looks like they wrapped up onto it with this stuff too. So, I'm going to do that dubbing rope right here. There we go. Alright, yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah. I think I'm just going to tie this and I'm going to go to bed. I haven't had dinner yet either. But yeah, and I started really getting into God and fly tying because of that and everything. And started noticing the studying and stuff like that. And I really wanted to make a business to where, like, you know, have like a guide service where, you know, people can afford a guide. You know, because not everybody can afford a guide. So I got some pretty good guide prices and stuff like that because, you know, a daughter and a dad or a mom and a son or a dad and a son and stuff like that. That's memories right there that are just awesome, you know. Yeah, I should use a shorter hook. This is gonna be big. This is a mess. It. All right, so we're gonna tie the legs on. And I got these right here. Readings flash up, and there's looks like 3 on each side. So I'm gonna pop off 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. I don't go that far back. There we go. And what you do is you stretch this out. You're pulling tight. Catch it. Bam. But yeah, I got into fly tying. People buying my flies and doing guides and stuff like that. I had all successful guides, stuff like that. And I really believe, like, I came up with the jig pig. Hoot's tungsten jig pick. I came up with that, dude. And that annihilates water. It just rocks. So we're going to go ahead and trim these bad boys. These legs go all the way back to the tail. No, I'm about to mess that up. Bam. So yeah, smaller hooks. There we go. Would be a good idea. Alright, so we got this. And this is like how I understand to use it. Just like spinning deer hair. Just take you a chunk. Kind of stack it like this. If it ain't enough, get you another chunk. There we go. And just stack it. Well, there's other different ways. People use brushes and stuff. Alright, we'll start at the bottom. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put in the hackle. Does it get hackle? Nope, it don't get hackle. Alright. So we'll start at the bottom. Then we're going to get, if you got daughters, grab their little hair thingies like this. Yeah, I gotta turn it the other way. Aha! Way back there. Make sure everything's square. Alright. Bring this all the way. 1, 2. Pull it down. Make sure you got it even on both sides. There we go. Alright. Then we got another piece. Let's make sure everything's square. Alright. 2. Pull it all back. Catch it in front. And right back into it. There we go. Just like that. Or you could spin it, whatever. It's really up to you. Some more. Go ahead. 1, 2. Turn around. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Oh, well, it don't really matter. Then we'll get this going. Some dubbing in it. There we go. And thank y'all for watching. This really does like mean a lot to me, you know, y'all watching and stuff. And then back to the story. I remember Roaring River. And this family, this is when Helios came out. This family got, they ain't never fished anything. This family got some Helios rods for Christmas for fly fishing. And they never been fly fishing. So they're parked at Tim's Fly Shop. And this is just right after Christmas, right? So they're parked at Tim's Fly Shop. And he's closed, you know. So I see them, something in my head says stop, whether it be God or just being curious. I believe it's God. And that was my first guide too. So like, well, it's, you know, I'll help you all out. I tie flies, sell flies and stuff like that. You know, so I'll help you all out. And it's real important because I seen these kids and stuff, and the dad and the mom, they're like, oh, everybody just lit up. Like there was a chance, there was a hope that they would have a good day, you know? So I went down there, you know, they followed me, and I'm praying the whole time. I was like, God, please let these people catch fish. Stuff like that. And everybody caught an abundant amount of fish for the first time. They learned how to roll cast. I mean, I taught. It was amazing. It was just so amazing. I would do it again, you know, because their time was real important to me, you know, stuff like that. And then, I started getting to guiding, and it's just amazing watching other people catch fish and you're a part of that, and tying flies. I come to realize that I'm tying memories. These people are going to trust my flies to catch them fish, even though, you don't land. Some days you don't catch fish. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. They just don't want nothing to do with anything. That's why it's called fishing. Unless you're using Hoot's custom flies, then it's called catching. But that's a different story altogether. You know. But yeah, I started getting into that, helping people again and stuff. And, stray away from the Bible every now and then I would. And I always come running back. And I came up with this saying, you know, I walk with Jesus, or I follow Jesus, or I believe in God. I walk with Jesus, or I believe in God. Every now and then I stumble over the devil, but Jesus is always there. Something along the line, and I ain't said it in a while. But Jesus is always there to pick me up or catch me before I hit the ground. I got a big thing about putting my knees in the dirt. There we go. So we're going to put that right there. And ever since then, I've just been ran into my beautiful girlfriend. She's been super supportive. She's graduating college here soon. She's gonna be a licensed massage therapist. And dude, she's really good at what she does. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, that's the worst time to break thread is right there. I forgot I'm using 8/0. I should be using 6/0. So there's another note, 6/0. All right. I think that was a rough draft. There we go. Yeah, there's the thread right there. Alright. So this is going to have a big old wad of thread in there. So not every fly everybody ties is a perfect fly. Alright. We'll pull all this back. Oh. Wrap this back. There we go. Take this hair breadth thingy out. If you'll ever give it up, give it up. We'll put it here for the wet finish. All right. Here we go. There we go. All right. Oops. Get all this extra out. Alright, the bottom part's easy. All you really gotta do is this. Let me double check. Yeah. There we go. And how far back does this go? Goes all the way to the tail. go. There we go with that. Where's my dubbing brush? I gotta brush that out. 39. Thank y'all for joining. I really appreciate this. There we go. There we go. Almost. I'll brush this out to thin it out a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Trim this down a little bit though. There we go. All right. There we go. No problem, Maverick. How you doing, man? No problem. But yeah. So this is just a rough draft. This ain't exactly what I'm gonna do now is work on this here soon. I'm still working on flies for a guide that I got coming up next week. Norfolk. We're all gonna have a blast. Good time. Good time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is still bugging me. I got the real scissors now. Yeah. There we go. You can over trim stuff and really just ruin your day doing it. Remember that. You don't want to do that. All right, we'll brush it out now. Oh, yeah, that came out good now. It's not too thick, not too thin. There we go. Bam, complete. Ain't too bad, ain't too bad. It's kind of nice. It'll have the perfect silhouette of that teardrop of a skull pin. But I know what I did wrong. So I'll be able to fix it and do a better one next time. she is. I don't think he'll mind. But yeah, we'll see what time it is. 8:31, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna make me some dinner, y'all, and go to bed. Thank y'all very much for joining and listening to my story. I don't know if I remember where I was at. There's still more to it. I mean, I didn't learn my lesson for a minute, like a long minute. And yeah, thank y'all for listening and stuff. And I hope maybe my story helps other people out. But yeah, be safe. Look both ways for your cross tree. Remember, top of the line for the tip of your line. Hoots custom flies. It ain't fishing no more, ladies and gents. It's catching. Peace. Here we go. Look at this bad boy. It's a Buford right here. That's a Buford. This is something I'm farting around with. I'm hanging up some nice streamers. All right, and here's that. There we go. Ba-bam. All right. Thank you very much.